Let's begin the Hindu analysis for 3rd of August 2020. Okay, first topic we are going to consider is the Chinese info war on border standoff. Okay, so this is a kind of war on Twitter, okay, or online war. It is a kind of disinformation online war, and the roots of such disinformation war has been traced to Pakistan rather than China. Okay, so there has been comments on these Indo-China border clash on LAC. There was both side information flow about this clash and deaths occurred. Okay, and this was a disinformation campaign led mostly by the Pakistani based Twitter users, right? So there has been a loophole in Twitter, okay, which allows the users to change their name or even the account handle. So it has been found that earlier there were these Twitter handles or accounts using with Urdu names, right? But then they converted to this Mandarin or Chinese names, right? And this then they started using hate comments or for disinformation. These kind of things were penetrated or used by these kind of accounts, and this led to misinformation, and such misinformation could lead to yeah, international ties. Okay, the ties between China and India could hamper. International ties between the two countries could hamper over the long time. So we must need India and China should come together, or this can be a common thing for both the countries to tackle such kind of disinformation, right? Because it leads to credibility loss. Okay, kind of the people to people confidence building which China and India has been trying for years could decline. Okay, could decline significantly with such kind of activities. Okay, so there has been such false information using all Twitters, Facebook and YouTube, and these were actually traced to Pakistan. So India and China need to look, and also the companies like Twitter and Facebook also need to check on these loopholes so that such kind of disinformation misspreading cannot take place. Okay. Then yes, India and China has been now on fifth round of talks on border standoff, and there has been a considerable amount of disengagement as well, especially in the LAC. But there has been news recently that China has been now engaging at Lipu Lake, okay, which is in Uttarakhand, right? So the complete disengagement is still not there, and yet the process is yet to be completed for building the confidence building measures are yet to be taken between both the countries, right? The third thing we in this topic very well written here is that the scanner on institutions. So I will come to this in a topic later where I will describe the Chinese or the Mandarin institutions in India are under the scanner of MHRD, okay, or Ministry of Education, as recently decided to be named. Okay. Then the next topic we are going to discuss is this reviving our economy. So after this pandemic, what has happened? Most of people have been pushed to poverty, right? We have seen a contraction. Okay, there has been a figure of 4.5%, right? Approx, which can be economic contraction for India in this financial year 2019-20. Oh, sorry, 2021, right? So this economic contraction is not merely a number of GDP, right? It can have repercussions like increase in poverty, right? Like there can be hunger and malnutrition increase because of less spending income, right? Less disposal income, right? Less disposal income. Then there can be problem of corporate closing of companies, especially the MSME, corporate closure, especially the MSME sector. We have seen that the economic activity is below par, and this has led to very poor condition among the MSMEs. Okay, many of the companies are not operating at all at this point of time. In the back of this COVID-19 economic crisis is now a global phenomenon, right? So it has its repercussion, especially after this lockdown and the behavioral change among people, right? People do not have sentiment to spend their income. There has been behavioral changes, and we have seen that, yeah, either people are placing their money in banks or they are investing in gold. We can see that the prices of gold are rising. So this has been a statement for, the write-up is from Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who has been the torchbearer of LPG reforms in India in 1991, and he puts up some points here how the sustained economic revival of India could take place. So he says that such contraction of Indian GDP could lead to increase in poverty, hunger, malnutrition, corporate closure, job losses. Okay, there would be problem of this generation loss. Okay, because we are unable to provide employment, or we are unable to bring the new generation which has recently passed out from graduation, you can say. So they are not, they cannot be brought up into the economic domain, and this would lead to a complete loss of generation, right? Our youth who is not having opportunities to grow, okay, the potential would be lost. The economic potential they can put to Indian economy would be lost, right? So these are the problems that are well highlighted. There has been an example that recently Narega, which is a scheme for a right to work, okay, right to work under the DPSP, okay, DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, well mentioned in Constitution. So this Narega scheme, the demand for work, actually Narega provides legal right to demand work. Okay, so people who have demanded work this year has been 3 times the usual, and which very well explains that those misplaced workers, or you can say those migrated workers, have been seeking the minimal wages under Narega so that they can meet their ends, right? And this demand of 3 times is 10 times the total workers in corporate sector, listed in corporate sector. So you can see that the informal workers in India, okay, the number of informal workers in India who are in crisis due to these problems, these pandemic. Okay, so the suggestions here, government has taken several steps in this regarding, like this 20 lakh crore package the government has taken, okay, which is a significant amount, almost 10% of our GDP, right? There has been small amount of direct cash transfers by the government, okay, especially for women, okay. So there has been a small amount of DBT transfers. Then government has reduced the corporate tax a year earlier, so this is a kind of relief for now. Okay, there has been this. Then there is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, right? Garib Kalyan Yojana for food distribution. Okay, then this Narega is already there, and government has improved wages at some places, right? Then government and RBI have also done what they have done. They have taken steps for credit guarantee. Okay, credit guarantee schemes for those Manrega, and even there has been the credit facility for vendors also, so that they can sustain in this time. Okay, in this crisis. So there has been credit guarantee schemes. There has been reductions in taxes. Interest rate reductions has been there, right? Banks have reduced interest rates. Okay, and yes, there has been also this enhancement of liquidity enhancement is also there. But still all these steps are inadequate. As the writer says, these steps are inadequate, and what government else need to do is to increase the confidence. Okay, the first thing is to increase the confidence. They say that if we can increase the confidence among public, they would spend more. Okay, and this would drive the wheel of economy. Public expenditure is must. Okay, and yes, savings by public in our banks is also a very important strength of India, because these savings, they turn into investments by lending to private sector, right? So this is very important aspect of India. Okay, and rather than investing in physical gold, the government should try that people invest in virtual gold, so that the liquidity or the savings of people could again then can be lent to further to corporates, which would again drive the economic wheel of India, right? Then there could be improvement in the institutions, right? Institutions like banks are need to be made more autonomic, they need to be given more autonomy, so that they could lend. Okay, they could be confident in lending. Okay, we have recently seen that there has been increase in NPAs. So in this scenario, bank needs autonomy so that they can work on their credible sources, right? They can work on their own, they can generate their own revenues with the help with their well developed market. Okay, they can develop their own niche now. Then the third thing it talks about is development of confidence among international rating agencies, right? International rating agencies, rating agencies. These international rating agencies are very much important for our loans. Okay, these such kind of sovereign rating of India is very much important for international borrowings. Okay, the article says that India cannot. It says that people should be given direct assistance. Okay, this article claims that countries like US and UK has provided significant amount of direct assistance to their people, but in India this is very meager, like rupees 500 2 or 3 times, which is very meager to sustain. Okay, so the article says that a significant amount of direct assistance is to be given, and then there is need to be better low interest lending for corporate sector, for MSMEs, then more autonomy to bank. All this need money. Okay, all this need resources, and for this the article claims that government needs to borrow more money. And for borrowing more money, first the government need to work utilize their previous reputation, which we have among institutions like IMF and World Bank. Okay, we have taken loan from them earlier and we have repaid it in a very well settled manner. So we have a reputation among these institution, and they can provide us with low cost loan, right? Low interest rate loans. Okay, and also our improved sovereign rating can help the private sector in India to borrow internationally at low cost, right? Borrow internationally. Okay, this would lead to sustained revival of economy. Okay, sustained economic revival for India. Okay, so this topic is over. Then now we should move towards the next topic, which is about national education policy. So recent launch of national education policy has seen a much analysis in the newspapers, right? So today's article is about how parents' role could be there, right? So this article claims, or you can say NEP has recognized that almost 5 crore students, 5 crore children do not have basic numeracy and literacy skills. Basic numeracy and literacy skills is absent among 5 crore children in India, right? So this NEP very much focuses on preschool education, or the education for children less than 6 years of age, right? So they what are they focusing? They are focusing on involvement of parents, so that parent can play an active role in the development of their child. But the problem is that the low income parents, they have constraints of time, right? The low income parents have constraints of time, then they have constraints of literacy as well. They are not able to provide that much information to their children. Then okay, so there are constraints of this time. Then there is constraint of this literacy levels. Okay, then there is constraint of content availability in their local language. Okay, content in local language, right? So all this creates problem for parents to support their child. Okay, and also there is there is lack of social incentive for the parents to especially the socio-economically disadvantaged classes. They have less social incentive to provide preschool education to their children, so they directly send their children to primary school and they start from first, which leads to lagging behind of their child in both primary education as well as beyond, because of their low state of development for class first. Okay, their standards of their cognitive standards are below the level of what needed at the class first, so this lead to their lagging behind. Okay, and we very well know the cycle, the vicious cycle, that poor education leads to poor quality jobs. Okay, leads to poverty, which again leads to poor education. So this is a kind of vicious cycle, and if we want our human capital to be built up, we need to invest at the basic initial stages. Even the economic survey 2019 very well points out that if India wants to reap the maximum dividend or the benefits from its human capital, we need to take the low-hanging fruits. And the one such low-hanging fruit is investing at the very initial stages, right, below the age of 6, because as per science, 85% of the cumulative brain development of a child occurs below the age of 6, right? So yes, we need to invest more in this ECCE. What is this? This is an early childhood care and education, which NEP points out. And NEP says that we can work on it with the help of our preschool and Anganwadi infrastructure. Okay, preschool and Anganwadi infrastructure. We need to focus on these two. And this says that 30% of low income group do not get any kind of ECCE. Okay, so what we need to do, okay, first we discuss the role of parents. So whatever taught at school can be reinforced or undone at home, right? The parents are the first and natural tutors. Okay, first and natural tutors of a child. So what we need to do, we need to motivate the parents. We need to motivate the parents. We need to aspire them so that they can gain the social incentive. They can seek the benefits of developing their child at the initial stages, right? And how it can be done? This motivation can be brought up with the help of this building aspiration through role modeling, mass media and social media campaigns, examples of celebrities. These can be the crucial first step in developing the role of parents, right? Then we can further go by combining vast wealth of print and online content, and that this content should also be available in local language so that parent can well use it. Okay, local content. Okay, there can also be this literacy program. There can also be literacy program for parents as well, like evening classes are there at some places. So we can work with civil society in this case. Okay, civil society or NGOs can better help in this literacy of parents or training of parents for nurturing their child, right? And yes, what needs to be done else is measurement, right? So what the teachers are training, what the parents are giving to their children should be measured. If there is a scale of measurement which we can provide to the parents, they could very well be self motivated to improve the standards of their child, right? So this is for this article. Then this is the article on the page first which I was discussing, that Mandarin. Okay, so it seems with recent news, it seems that Mandarin could be dropped from our foreign language. Okay, the foreign languages taught in India, Mandarin could be dropped from this. Okay, the clause to drop Mandarin from the list of suggested languages under national education policy. Okay, as per Ministry of Education. So this says that Mandarin could be dropped. What the article here says, the article says that it talks about the CI, Confucius Institution. They are funded by an China-based organization called Hanban. So Indian government has asked Indian institutions who are getting the funds from this Hanban and having this Confucius institutions or Confucius CIs in their campus, right? Presently, as per the government report, there are only two such universities, like Mumbai University and Vellore Institute of Technology, that has functional CIs or Confucius Institute. These have come under the scanner of government, or government wants to check on these kind of institution, because recently there has been news that in US and Europe, that allegations like these kind of CIs have been used by for the espionage purposes, right? So this is the reason why they have been brought under the scanner of government, right? And India has been a bit of safer side, because what India has been sending their teachers for training rather than welcoming the Chinese for teaching this Mandarin, right? We have been sending, as per an MOU with the Hanban, we have 300 Indian teachers would be trained in China. So this reduces this threat of espionage, but still the government need to be very much aware of the security threats from such kind of institution, because they are, with education, a balance in national security is very much necessary. Okay, the next topic we are going to discuss is the UK issue to coin on a. Okay, so first let me tell you that Rishi Sunak, he is a man of Indian origin, and now he is a finance minister of Britain. Okay, Rishi Sunak. So he has come up with an kind of agreement, or you can say kind of advisory guidelines for the Royal Advisory Committee, for Royal Mint Advisory Committee to mint coins to honor Gandhi ji, right? They, especially after this George Floyd case, which has led to these allegations of discrimination and against the black and the minority communities, black, Asian, and minority communities. uh, Rishi Sunak has come up with the idea of honoring the people from such societies so that UK can gain currency, or you can say can gain clout among such people, okay, such society. So they want to support the racial diversity. This is their case. So on 2nd of October we seek International Day of Violence, okay, which is the birthday of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So they are seeking to mint a coin on Gandhiji to commemorate this, right? So we praise these kind of efforts, okay, we praise these kind of efforts because they are welcome step for global harmony, okay, global harmony, okay. So on this positive note, I would like to end my today's lecture. Thank you very much.